It's a pleasure to welcome to another edition of the program, the Star Good Morning Show, here on Star Television, broadcasting live from our Media One Center 3 Mama Street, Brookfields in Freetown. My name is Abdul Rahman Kamar. Top stories in the program. The Mayor of the Freetown Municipality, Yvonne Akisoya, during the 14th National Cleaning Exercise, has commended citizens of Freetown for their collaborative support in ensuring the cleaning exercise becomes a success. The Managing Director of Okel Commercial Bank, Dr. Ekundaya Walton Gilpin, on Wednesday, May 15, 2019, received the Africa's Patriotic Personality Award from the League of African Development Students of Nigeria, adding to the series of awards in recognition for his selfless services and development stride in nation building at the Okel Commercial Bank headquarters, Shaka Stevens Street in Freetown. And also the National Commission for Children, in partnership with the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children Affairs and other child-focused organizations, has launched the 30th anniversary celebration on the United Nations Convention on the Right of the Child on Tuesday, 14th May 2019 at the Atlantic Hall in Freetown. All these including sport will be part of the program. Remember, the Star Good Morning Show is proudly sponsored by Okel Commercial Bank.
Keke account, you in a keke rider. Osusu account, for you in a trader. Mighty account.
You, I don't people only keke there. Who say you the worship so? Tell who's smoking my way the worship for you don't get all length in there.
Now Okel Commercial Bank now then they worship for me.
He Okel Commercial Bank don't get money, man. Tell me about like how.
Na keke account na inna the money man.
Tell me what is keke. Tell me what is keke.
I be advised on the last time say
yes.
Make una go open keke account. Always una the admire too. Na keke account don't give me. I got over 20 kekes the way they run for me.
What in?
Yes. Even the big dons at the country presently. Na me and then they operate.
With that small money, we will put in the account. Now you will buy all the things they are so with.
That small money they na in turn something for me the like today.
Now me they get money. I will give me woman. Petty money all the eater.
But man, take your money, go na any branch. Tell them say you want to open account. Simple.
The problem I get now that me na bike rider. I wonder if I'm going for open keke account for me.
Whether you na bike rider, whether you na keke rider, whether you dey ride omolanke or push wheelbarrow, I tell una for free. That account dey ede for una all. Yes.
So how? Any can
just go na any branch.
Any of them branch?
Yes. Tell them say you want to open keke account. That's all.
The matter don't done. It don't done. Me they go open your account. What?
You will dey ride bike. Keke riders, omolanke pushers. Una can't join we. Now go Okel Commercial Bank inside keke account. We all can be millionaire.
Can join Okel Commercial Bank.
Join Okel Commercial Bank. Bank with Okel Commercial Bank. Number one. Bank with Okel Commercial Bank. Number one.
Welcome back from that Okel business advert. The Mayor of the Freetown Municipality, Yvonne Akisoya, during the 14th National Cleaning Exercise, has commended citizens of Freetown for their collaborative support in ensuring the cleaning exercise becomes a success. Moses Oju Kamara reports.
Speaking to a cross-section of the press, the Mayor of the Freetown Municipality, Yvonne Akisoya, stated that people should not be waiting on the national cleaning exercise at the end of every month to take care of the environment, but ensure that it becomes a daily exercise by way of getting rid of the filth.
You know, when President Bio announced National Cleaning Day, he said National Cleaning Day. But over the months, it became National Garbage Collection Day because people stopped cleaning and just kept hoarding their garbage and leaving it outside. But we're really interested in changing the behaviors of residents of Freetown. So this is an important part of our toolkit, National Cleaning Day. It gives a platform where we can really encourage citizens, residents to actually get involved in communal cleaning. And that is directly linked to the Cleaner Zone competition. Because what it means is that if you want to win the Cleaner Zone competition, you actually have a free pass once a month for everybody in your community, everybody in your zone, to just clean your zone. Just kept hoarding their garbage and leaving it outside. But we're really interested in changing the behaviors of residents of Freetown. So this is an important part of our toolkit, National Cleaning Day. It gives a platform where we can really encourage citizens, residents to actually get involved in communal cleaning. And that is directly linked to the Cleaner Zone competition. Because what it means is that if you want to win the Cleaner Zone competition, you actually have a free pass once a month for everybody in your community, everybody in your zone, to just clean your zone. And that will really help you with the public areas, which is one of the criteria for winning the Cleaner Zone competition.
She commended the efforts of members of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces towards the national cleaning, adding that they had demonstrated commitment in addressing some of the challenges, working in partnership with the metropolitan officers during the cleaning exercise.
Because Fretonians from east to west of the city are always saying that it's dirty, they don't want people in dirty city. So that is coming from the Fretonians. They are the ones, we all are the ones who are dirty in the city. Because the dirt does not come from the sky. It comes from individuals. So once we've decided that we want a clean city, then I am confident, and I believe we have made that decision. I'm confident that we're going to meet the target.
Albert John Simbo, a metropolitan officer, noted some of the challenges they face with getting people to abide to the laws that govern the exercise.
That is why Mount operating. Now we have about 15 men who are around to see that people go out to clean. And then we have Saloon police officers who are with us. We have the Masada guys, and then we have youth around. I've sent them in several areas so that they can go and force people to do their cleaning. Because we don't want us to go there tomorrow on Tuesday to say, oh, yesterday, this that we have back here from Sunday or Monday. We just want to see how people can bring out their garbage so that they can bring it to the dump site.
Councillor Lucky M. Mansare of Ward 406, winner of the just concluded Cleaner Zone competition, applauded the initiative and stated that ever since the cleaning exercise became obligatory, they have noticed a decrease in the health hazard condition they've been recording as a community.
It has created some impacts in our community because, well, in the first place, there is cleaning competition that has gone some weeks ago. Then we thought it fit that because of our proactiveness in our community, the collective responsibility between the youth, the women, and stakeholders of the community, trust me, that one has created an impact that Councillor Lucky M. Mansare, the Ward Committee members, stakeholders, the Member of Parliament, and other personalities, all of us have come together to make sure that we clean our community. So by so doing, because of what we have been doing in our community is on top of situation is very clean, more than other community, and we are still continue to clean. We don't want to say because we won the Cleaner Zone competition, so we are going to leave it like that. So we are still looking forward to make sure that we still continue to clean and we will be on top of situation as we have been on top of situation.
For Star News in Freetown, compiled by Moses Oju Kamara, read in our studios by Hassan Koroma.
Thanks to Moses Ojukama for that report. We move along with the program. The Managing Director of Okel Commercial Bank, Dr. Ekundaya Walton Gilpin, on Wednesday, May 15, 2019, received the Africa's Patriotic Personality Award from the League of African Development Students of Nigeria, adding to the series of awards in recognition for his selfless services and development strides in nation building at Okel Commercial Bank headquarters in Freetown. Here is the report.
Accept our congratulations.
Well, today the bank and myself have received an award of prestige, award for being a patriotic African, an award for innovation and development on the continent and beyond. And this award has actually been presented by the Leeds Agency, the Students Development Agency, and the executive flew in from Nigeria, and the local executives in Sierra Leone joined them to present the award to myself and to the bank.
So what does it mean for you?
It's quite another cap, you know, to a cap on recognition of the good work we're doing. It's another tap on the back. It's another merit. It's another yardstick of recognition. This is an indicator that if you work hard with God's help, you will be rewarded. It's an indicator that we don't always cry down in Sierra Leone and that everyone is on a pull-me-down syndrome. We're here to elevate each other, to work hard and to be recognized. We've been recognized in this instance far across the shores from Nigeria. You won't believe it, that the executive of Leeds flew in from Nigeria today into Sierra Leone and walked straight into the office to deliver this award. This is purely an international recognition of the good work that's being done in Rokel Commercial Bank and in Sierra Leone also in general. And this is a victory for the young. It is a push for the young in heart, the young in mind, and the young in body. We are going to go out there and make younger people know that you can strive, you can work hard, you will excel, you can make it, you can achieve. You should not be like always despondent, you should not always be downcast. We have to make the situation right for us. If the environment is not the way we want it to be, adapt and make it better for yourself. So what I want to do is to continue encouraging the young, those who feel they are underprivileged, those who feel they're less advantaged, those who feel that they just cannot make it in life, to go out there, be yourself, identify your potential, and don't make that be an end game. Make the potential be an opportunity for you to grow further. And most of all, let's love each other and continue being there for each other. Sierra Leoneans, this is your bank. This bank is being recognized left, right, and center. There must be something good that we're doing, but we can't do it on our own. The staff are excellent, the people are fantastic, our customers are expecting a lot, and they're welcoming us, they're welcoming a change. At times we could have teething problems, now and then we could hurt other people by not doing what they want us to do. But we say we're sorry whenever we hurt you. What I want to say to us is, let's keep the fire burning, let's keep the wheel moving, and let's all the machinery for national economic development. Let's build a country together with the authorities, build a country together with the president, build a country together with those who have been charged to build a country. It's our country, it's your country, and it is going to be the best place for us to be in the years to come.
So what actually are you here to do today?
We are here as part of our activities to pay an advocacy visit to here in Sierra Leone, and particularly in this office to recognize the personality of the Managing Director and the entire management and staff of the Rokel Commercial Bank of Sierra Leone for the innovations that we've seen, for the trajectory they have towards growth, and a lot of positives that we've seen in the bank that has made us to come and recognize them. Specifically for the MD, we've seen how he has led the bank in the last couple of months, a year or two now. He has been here. We feel we need to make a statement of commendation, because in Africa we often condemn people, we hardly commend. Here today we are here to change the narratives, to commend him. And we are also here to thank him for various things he has done at Commonwealth, other positions of responsibility where he has been keeping a straight record, professionalism, integrity, and of course bringing a lot of innovation in those places. That is where we are here to talk about. It's not about corruption in Africa. It's not about bloodletting in Africa. It's not about ineptitude in Africa. There is credibility here. There is professionalism here. There is integrity here. And that is what we have come to recognize.
Not only recognizing the bank, but by extension the MD for what he has done over the past couple of months, which is less than 24 months. It's a truism that the MD has brought a lot of innovations to our bank. And we no longer see he's not a stranger, he's a brother, he's one of us. And I want to assure you that God being a helper, Mr. MD ever supports.
Well, we say congratulations to Dr. Ekunda Walton Gilpin for that award that was received by him yesterday. The 11th of May 2019 marks 1 year since Her Worship the Mayor Yvonne Aki-Sawyerr was sworn into office. A campaign promise of transformation encompassed 3 focus areas, namely building an innovative, affordable, inclusive city for the future, the Transform Freetown agenda, and for we community, for we progress, and for we Freetown. How much has she been able to accomplish on some of these promises? I have the privilege to have as a guest in the studio Her Worship Yvonne Aki-Sawyerr. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Abdul Rahman. Thank you for having me.
Do you see this as a very huge question? How much have you been able to accomplish on some of your promises?
No, it's not a huge question because we track our work and we set out very clearly what we were going to do. So if you've articulated what you want to do, and then you're tracking your progress, you're able to answer the question. And I think the answer is that we're on the right track. We have 4 clusters. You started off with for your community, for your progress, for your Freetown. That was the campaign promise. And beneath those were the areas. And those have been translated now into our 4 clusters: resilience, human development, healthy city, and urban mobility. And those relate to 11 priority sectors. For each of those priority sectors, we've set targets we want to achieve by 2022. So we've got our key performance indicators, and we are working on those targets. And I'm really excited because already in a year, not what I'm saying, but also what residents are saying, what visitors are saying, is that they can visibly see the transformation beginning. And that's because one of the areas that we've spent a lot of focus on is sanitation, which was the heart of what I wanted to do. Sanitation and the environment. So today, I'm excited that we have systems in place for daily sweeping of streets, for collecting from street bins, that we're putting new legislation which will be rolling out in June and July, that we are working on dump site improvement. The King Tom is going to be an engineered landfill that we've got on the 28th of June. We will receive the plans from the engineers for the closure of Kissy, although we can't close it until we get the new landfill. But the feasibility study for the new landfill is also underway. I'm excited that we've been able to construct classrooms in 4 schools, that we're building toilets in schools, that we were able to partner with the Ministry of Education to improve the monitoring of the NPSC exams, and that we have a post-exam conference coming up. I'm thrilled that on the international stage, I've had the opportunity to market Freetown, and because of that, we're going to have next month the Swiss Development Corporation will be coming to town. We'll also have the mayor of Hull here. These are all things which slot into our agenda, into initiatives, not forgetting to mention the Cleaner Zone competition, which successfully has had its first award night in April. And right now the winning zone is actively working on the new road, 250 meters of paved road made from recycled plastic. The 10 solar street lights are being positioned, the water. And last week, Friday, I had 50 children in my office receiving their scholarships because their zones were the top 5 zones for the Cleaner Zone competition. That's all working towards behavior change in sanitation. So there's progress, and you can track us on our website and on our Facebook page.
So when you sit all by yourself and look at some of these accomplishment feats and take a reflection on some of the challenges, where do you see the midway path?
So the challenges are there, absolutely. Our city had a lot of challenges and continues to have a lot of challenges because some dynamics can't change in a year. The population growth, Freetown's growing at 4.2% per annum. I was just speaking to Hassan here, and he said he told me about illegal construction going on at Bome, and I said, yes, I know. And we are trying so hard to get on top of it. But the population drift from the rural areas is happening at such a pace that even with our enforcement, I often say it's a city of 1.2 million people. It's growing at 4.2% per annum. Those are the official statistics. Getting on top of this, the answer to that is really investment in other parts of the country so that rural drift is slowed. But we are doing our best, and we will do more. But we need to grow council. I mentioned just now on the radio that when I came into office, there were 14 core staff, and there's still 14 core staff, the same number of core staff that you have in any other district in the country, even though we account for 20% of the population. So I have the same number of core staff as a small urban area like Bont municipality, or even if you compare to Port Loko municipality, same number, so they've got 450,000, 350,000 people compared to 1.2 million. So we've got challenges with capacity. We've got challenges with financing. People are often saying, oh, but then they give money. No, the money that comes from government is tied money. Very little, about 300 million, is unconditional grant. All of that is going to specific devolved functions that Freetown City Council has responsibility for. Whether it's a hospital, or the libraries.
As a development specialist, I'm sure one of your aims is to actually showcase some of these accomplishment feats. I recall a situation where you as one of your achievements, you created the online communication strategy launch to promote transparency and information sharing and stakeholders participation.
Yep.
How enhancing that particular initiative is?
So that's very, very much on, and we're big on technology. So one of our other achievements, which is linked to that, is, and also linked to our revenue drive, is the fact that we are geo-mapping the whole city. So already we've done 2 wards, over 9,000 properties, Ward 442 and Ward 405. And we're now launching this, scaling it across the city. So we'll have the coordinates of every property, we'll have their features. So not just that it's 10 square meters, but we know if it's made of wood or zinc or concrete. We know if it has access to a road. We know if it has access to water. And that will enable us to automate our property rate allocations, calculations. And as far as our web-based presence is concerned, so much is on our website. If you go on our website, you can find, I was saying it yesterday, you can find your ward. If you go now to www.findmeinfreetown.com, if your GPS location is on, it will tell you exactly which ward you're standing in. And that helps us, and it helps our residents. So if you want to report an incident, in July we'll be launching a text message complaint system. You can be wherever you are and you send us a text message. It'll give you options, whether it's about refuse, whether it's about dead dogs, whether it's about a block drain. You have the options, 7 options, and that will go into our database and we'll be able to respond. We're testing it now internally, so it's not open to the public, but by July we'll be opening it to the public. So this question of being transparent, being accessible, you know, on radio I was being asked about accessibility, can people see the mayor? But what we're doing is we're making it easy for your complaints. You don't need to see me personally. You shouldn't need to. It's not efficient if you have to see me as the mayor to deal with your issue. What we need to do is to ensure that the structures are there. If you go on our Facebook page, you can go to our contact page. If you have an issue, you can send it in right now on Facebook, on the website, and it will be picked up and it will be responded to. Less so on Facebook, because a lot of the Facebook messages are just kind of, you know, we have a lot of Facebook messages which are more messages of goodwill or opinion. But when somebody wants to complain about an issue, wants something resolved, we have telephone numbers. We have the website where you can send an email. So that's how we are trying to decentralize, even within council.
As I'm talking to you, I'm pretty much aware that you have limited time here in the studio. Quickly, I will come back to you. Let me go over to Hassan Fuad, a member of the Civil Society Consortium, who will be talking to me on the role in the preparation for the Beauty Money Conference, 3 slated for the 23rd, 24th and the 25th of May.
All of you are making the same mistake. Yeah. What we're doing, we are putting our plan to be able to sit together as civil society on our own consultative meeting.
Do you guys have time?
Yes, we have time. We have 2 days, tomorrow and Saturday. We're going to sit down together. We're going to put 250 to 300 youth civil society organization, comprises of faith-based organization, comprises of youth organization, comprises of the disabled organizations, and also organizations that are leading governance civil society organization in the country. And so we're doing this across the country, and we are ensuring that representation is going to be made from every district in Sierra Leone, which are from civil society organizations.
What will be the focus of this consortium to be?
The focus of this particular meeting, this consultative meeting, is to ensure that we are able to develop 3 position papers, and those position papers are, one, going to look at youth, entirety of youth, what are the problems in terms of peace, what are the recommendations in terms of holding the peace, and what do we think is the current situation there. And we also are going to develop another position paper combined with the main CSOs and the faith-based organization, and we're going to have another position paper for the disabled people. And these 2 position papers from the civil society organization are going to be presented to the organizers of the Bintu Mani 3 conference. And so, because all of us will not be able to speak together at the conference there, it means our documents are going to be tabled, and then they're going to look at it when they talk about the issue around peace and how we can be able to promote peace as civil unions.
What's the general impression about holding this Bintu Mani 3 conference from the perspective of nation building and enhancing cohesion?
Well, for us, we think it is timely, and we believe Sierra Leone itself needs it currently because of the way how things are going. But one of the reasons why we decided to have this particular conference was a singular fact that there is a problem currently wherein there has been a lot of issues around the Bintu Mani conference, and there was a lot of discussion around consultation. Unfortunately, in March, there was a consultation that was held by the organizers that they said that civil society was there. And most of us who are stakeholders in civil society continue to say that we were not consulted. And we will keep to our word that we were not consulted, and the consultation did not reach some of us. So we demanded that we want to have our own consultation wherein we know who are civil societies and we know what it means to be civil society. You understand? It means we are like a trump card. We are moral guarantors for our people, and we want to say things as they are. Yeah, and we believe by doing this, we want to pull out 250. We know we have over 1,000 civil society organizations across the country, but we want to pull out 250 to 300 youth civil society organizations from the faith base, from youth organizations, from governance structures that are doing monitoring and other things, and also from other civil society structures across the country. We want to put them all and to see how we can be able to look at the issue of peace. Remember, the main point around the Bintu Mani conference is the Green Paper, you understand? And the Green Paper itself is recommending that there should be a peace commission. We do not have anything contrary. What we want to do is to be able to recommend, you understand, to the process, to be able to look at the process to its entirety and say that this and this is what maybe we support, maybe we're not sure about this, and we also want to see how we can build on the peace. And as it is now, it is an open secret that there is a huge political divide in Sierra Leone, and it takes a whole man or whosoever for you to say that this is not correct. And this is not really supported by our constitution. Okay. And we want to do this as civil society.
Okay. Stay with me. It's Hassan Fuad Kanu. Hawashi, as part of your initiative to drive in revenue generation, I recall a situation where you introduced a country's first phone-based tax collection system to tackle some of the challenges of revenue generation. Has that initiative yielded required dividend?
Yeah, I mean, it did in the initial period. And what we've done, and one of the things about governance, and I share a lot with other mayors in other cities, in other countries actually, as well. And it's always good to test things and to improve on them. So we had a good success rate last year, but this year what's not gone well is that we've not reminded people. So we're now embarking on a very, very focused media campaign, which you'll be seeing in the next few weeks, which will be tackling all of the taxes that residents need to pay. Because as I often say, the tax you pay is what enables us to work for you. The funding that comes from central government is tied funding. There's very little to actually make a difference to Freetown. To make the difference, we need own source revenue, or we need to resource mobilize externally, or even resource mobilize from government. But that's subvention, which is sent, that allocation, which is sent every quarter, it's tied. They're tied budgets for the hospitals, for the libraries, for the schools. That's not the stuff that allows you to transform your city. That's not even the stuff that allows you to really run your city. Because the big things that we need are the environmental stuff, the sanitation work, the additional sort of top-ups. So like with the schools need maintenance. The money that comes doesn't really cover that. So it's so important for us all to play our role. And we in the next few weeks, will be coming back to Freetonians and reminding them of their responsibility to pay their taxes. And we're thankful. I want to say thank you for all those people who've been sending me text messages saying, Mayor, I don't get me demand notes yet for my property rate. I don't see the local tax book. That's encouraging. So even though we've been so focused on some internal housekeeping, as well as some, in my case, external work in terms of those big strategic objectives, that resource mobilizing at the international level. Now we need to come back for this second half of the year and make sure we get our nuts and bolts right in terms of resources from taxes in the city.
Granted that you are a member of most of accomplished global organizations, for instance, a member of the Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Initiative, the Mayors Migration Council Leadership, the Global Parliament of Mayors, etc., and including the growth centers. How has that international platform able to aid your connectivity that will cascade into the transformative growth of our city? For instance, the training initiative.
Yeah, no, it's been really helpful to have these sorts of international links. Some of which were there, like Hull City is a 40-year-old relationship, but others have come about because of me and my own profile that I had prior to becoming mayor, as well as, of course, the vision, their organizations have been invited to because they're so excited about how clearly we've planned for and articulated Transform Freetown. And it's been very helpful. So I'll just take a very practical one, which is literally going to unfold in the next couple of weeks. As you said, I was invited to be on the leadership board of the Mayors Migration Council, which is a real honor. There's 7 mayors around the world, including the mayor of Montreal, the mayor of Los Angeles, the mayor of Athens, myself, a man, so really high profile. And through that, when I was in Marrakesh for that meeting with George Soros in December, I met with the deputy head of the Swiss Development Corporation. Through that conversation, we now have a delegation coming to Freetown on the 3rd and 4th of June from the Swiss Development Corporation, including the deputy head, to talk with us about some very exciting possibilities in respect of water conservation. So these connections, when the Hull City will tomorrow be receiving one of their IT specialists from within that in their council, and next month the mayor of Hull will be here. And with Global Parliament of Mayors, we are now working to be the host city for the Global Parliament of Mayors for 2021 or 2022, which will be a massive conference bringing mayors from all around the world to hold the Parliament meeting here in our new council offices.
There is a deep-seated challenge within the capital city for which many people seem to be blaming the Freetown City Council for not being proactive to actually address that situation.
Is it street trading?
Controlling. I'll come to the street trading.
Oh, okay.
What's happened now at Lumley? Controlling the stray dogs population.
Stray dogs. How did you read my mind? Stray dogs. We have 250,000 stray dogs. We've got a head of ESO.
You did a census on that?
Yeah, well, there was some survey done between our department, our ASO department, and the Veterinary Association. It's a major, major problem, 250,000 stray dogs. And I've actually asked Mr. Parker to give me his plan. So there's a pilot going on, but the stray dogs are a problem on so many levels. They're a health problem. They're a sanitation problem. They're a tourism problem. They're a safety problem. So we are very conscious of the stray dogs, and the next time we speak, or maybe just because you've asked me the question and I've asked the question of my staff, but I don't have the answer yet, what I'll do is I will send to you so that we can share, and we'll put it on our website, we'll put it on Facebook, we'll put it on WhatsApp, what we're doing about stray dogs. We are conscious of it. It needs to be tackled.
On the question of
this is an example of something for which there is no funding given to us. So again, this is why citizens, we have problems, we want a challenge, we need funding. And I'm not blaming you because we haven't been out there, we haven't been pushing it. We're pushing it now, but when we come to you, please make sure that you are willing to pay your taxes.
On what prevails at a Lumley Axis now, where we've seen the help of the military officers coming in for which I'm not sure whether they've exceeded their mandate, but rather to help the Sierra Leone Police and community development initiatives, getting the traders back into the market to create a kind of smooth thoroughfare.
Yeah, so the traders aren't really in the market because there's not enough space in the market. So we have traders who are pushed back, we have traders who are displaced altogether. So the conversation that we've had, and we've met on site, we've met in my office, and we're meeting after I leave here. That was why I couldn't stay long.
Yeah.
After I leave here, I'm going to Lumley again, and we're meeting collaboratively. We're working together, SLRSA, SLP, OPII, which is in the State House, as well as FCC, because we need a long-term solution. And that long-term solution really does speak to the market which is being built with World Bank funding by Westcar, but which hasn't started yet, and temporary solution, which we're looking to put, and we're looking at whether we concrete the area, whether we put gravel. So that's the conversation we have had this week. When we meet today, we're getting some costings, but we will put temporary market facilities at the Juba Bridge area, because we know that soldiers, when they're there, people will run, but the soldiers can't be there forever.
Mm-hmm.
And when they leave, the people will come back because they are looking for a living. I'm not justifying traders on the streets. You'll see around Freetown now no trading signs that have actually gone up. We've got designated no trading signs in the CBD. We need to control traders. They need to be off the road. But at the same time, you need to be responsible in the way that you do that. Building of markets is one of my priorities. It's something which I wish by now I could point to markets here and there. But we've had so many things to tackle in the first 12 months, in addition to being new. Because you also have to realize that when you come into a new institution with your own culture, ways of doing things, bringing in transparency, accountability in a different way to perhaps it's been done before, that even that takes time to embed, and there will be challenges with that. And so in terms of your productivity, you've got to deal with that as well as actually being outward facing. Not to mention the fact that I've talked about capacity, I've talked about finances. We came in immediately flood mitigation, which was a huge success, but it meant that my first 3 months were doing that. We were also engaged with our community consultation.
Okay.
We consulted 15,000 people. We built Transform Freetown, which was engaging 390 different stakeholders to come up with those targets. So we've done a lot in 1 year, which has been laying the foundation, doing the planning. And I'm really excited that in the next 12 months, we'll see a lot of those beginning to hit the ground. More than we've done, because a lot has hit the ground already.
I honestly will not come back to, we don't have much time left in the studio. What, in the next 5 years, what type of city do you envisage to see as a mayor?
So I've only got 3 more years of my term. So let me say what I expect to see in the next 3 years.
Okay.
In the next 3 years, I'm convinced now in my heart that the way Freetonians are responding to Transform Freetown, their involvement in Clean Zone, their involvement in Cleaning Days, etc., their participation with our initiatives, I'm convinced that we will see a transformed city.
Do you have the support coming from the central government?
I'm working with the central government. Absolutely. I am working with the central government. There are challenges, as there will always be. But by and large, we've been able to, I think when you're clear on what it is you're collaborating on from a development perspective, then it becomes a technical engagement, a professional engagement. And that is working, and that should work and must work in order for what the government is saying is their vision and what the municipality is saying is our vision. It must work for us to succeed. And this is not about us. It's about the people. It should always be about the people of Freetown.
Okay, quickly, what could be your closing remark? There seem to be a kind of polarized views within civil societies, or that calling for a postponement of the conference, while others are saying, yes, it's timely, let it go on. Yes, quickly.
Well, basically, in as much as we know it's a presidential pronouncement that they've already pronounced a date for the conference. So it will be very difficult for it to be in reverse.
Okay.
We also want to take the advantage to meet as civil society, which we are doing tomorrow and Saturday, to do our own position paper. And we are doing 3 position papers, civil society, to look into the issue into its entirety. We want to make our recommendation. We want to see how best we can be able to maintain the views that civil society is still a balanced society. We know it's challenging. There are some people who are hiding under the umbrella of civil society, but some of us we stood to the ground. We always say that I have nothing to gain. If you are in civil society, you are always in civil society. But if you are in a party, then you have a time frame. And we want to continue to hold this, and we want to believe that we have Sierra Leone, and Sierra Leone, the peace of Sierra Leone is what is going to make Sierra Leone develop.
Okay, thank you so much, Hassan Fuad Kanu, for that wonderful delivery here at the Star Television. Thank you also to Worship the Mayor, Yvonne Akisoya, for sparing you a little bit of your time, being part of this edition of the Thursday Good Morning Show. Looking forward to having you in subsequent edition. Congratulations to Makine Ayen office.
Thank you.
Looking forward to working with you.
Thanks, Abdulrahman. Looking
and
forward as well.
This is how I bring the curtain into this edition of the program. Thanks to my studio guest. Today I've been the presenter. My name is Abdulrahman Kamal. Have a wonderful day.